This is AC Starlord, aka Awesome. Welcome back to my channel. And I just finished watching How to Train Your Dragon Part 2 because I'm seeing it this Thursday. Well, no, not this Thursday. I'm seeing it this Sunday, my bad. Some other people from my church group already saw it today, and some other friends of mine saw it last week, and I was a part of that, but I didn't recollect, but I also did say I was going to sit with the middle school kids, other middle school kids, and my church group with other adults with middle school kids. But here's the thing. Part two is you see Hiccup a little bit older. You see Astrid and the rest of the gang a little bit older. Um, Now Astrid and Hiccup are dating because I didn't really see how that was even a thing in the very first one. I mean, I guess they did a little fist bump, little arm fist bump thing that they're dating, but I didn't really see that as them dating. But hey, they're dating in this one because his dad Stoic said, "Oh, that's my future daughter-in-law." So he kind of like threw me off, and later on, it made me laugh and threw me off. But later on in the movie, she's like, "Go get him, babe." I'm like, "Okay, so you guys are actually dating." So they're dating, and then Hiccup finds his mom. Um, as a mystery person with a whole bunch of, I mean, an outfit just looks like just like this outfit right here that he's wearing, and a mask. And the mom was training dragons just like he was, and she became a master of dragons. He became a master of dragons and training them, but also the fact that they're similar to each other. And then the mom got taken away from Burke when he was young from another dragon that scratched his chin. And also, there's a villain here named Drago. Drago wanted to Burke and Stoic, I mean, Stoic and Burke to team up with him to take out the dragons and control them. And he kind of didn't want to, but even though Stoic at the time knew that dragons were a bad thing to have around, he came around to on Hiccup's side, and then basically it just became good versus evil kind of with that and try to get Drago to learn that all dragons are not bad. You don't need to control them and take over them, and like how the dragons listen to the alpha dragon, just like how all the other animals in the animal kingdom listen to the alpha, like the alpha dog, the alpha cat, the alpha male type of thing. But Toothless showed who was the real true alpha, and it's Toothless. Um, I know this movie's been out for a while, since 2014. So I really shouldn't be going over like, hey, this, if you haven't seen this movie, blah, blah, see this. But most people, if you have, I mean, not most people, but if you haven't seen this movie, I highly recommend seeing the second one and the first one. I highly recommend seeing the first animated one before you go see the new live action one. Because I heard from my friend it's basically cut for cut like the animated movie, but they added a little bit 30 more extra minutes. So we'll see. Now they do the live action of the sequel. Hopefully they change it up a little bit better. Hopefully they change it up a little bit more. Because that's what I want to see. Because Lilo and Stitch so far has done that where you have the same exact movie, but you change it a little bit. But that's just my complaint. But part two of this is really great. Um, the battle between Drago and the people from Burke, Hiccup and all that stuff, Astrid and everyone else. And the dragons were awesome. Seeing Toothless obeying the Alpha Dragon and um turning on Hiccup on an accident was actually quite cool to see because why not? Why not see your protagonist dragon go from good to evil and and see how that turns out when Toothless can become a bad guy. Because Toothless didn't even like Hiccup in the very beginning of the first movie. So, oh yeah, they also killed the father, Stoic. And that's the thing, and that's why I don't like getting attached to characters that probably might may or may not live that long in a franchise. I hate when they do that. Like they introduce them in the first movie, and then they're in the sequel, and then they're gone. Um, like I'm glad like they what they did for Wolverine. They did 3 movies with Wolverine, and then you see him get old and he dies. But the old man Logan never dies, so you get my point in the comics. But you get my point. They when they introduce a character and they introduce them, he or she, and they're in the first movie, and then they're in the second movie, and then the character has to make a sacrifice, and they're gone. That just throws me off, and that throws me off also a little bit because, and it also ticks me off because why even have them in the first movie and introduce them and know that they're not going to be in the second movie, and then boom, bada bang, they're gone. Don't have that character in there then, and as simply as that. Now, Hiccup does need a father, but Hiccup's father could have been just not there, you know, but he was there. So, Gerard Butler did a very good job. Gerard Butler comes back to play his dad again. So that's one of the things I hope they change up. Hopefully, like they change up in the sequel of live action. Like, oh, his dad just gets wounded um by Toothless's fire blast instead of a plasma blast, a fire blast, and again dying from that. Like, there's a way you can do that. Change it up a little bit. They send them off a Viking funeral salute, and then he becomes the chief. But that's also already in the storyline where Aster and Hiccup actually do talk about him being a chief. Now the third one probably being a chief, and then you also find another Night Fury because I saw the trailers for that. And then I think Astrid and Hiccup have a kid. I don't know. I haven't seen the third one. I might watch the third one here pretty soon here, but. This movie was pretty good. The second one was exciting. Um, I gotta say I like the first one more, but this is still part of the How to Train Your Dragon series. Um, even though when I go see the live action one, it's mainly about the first movie, not the second or the third one. But it's good to follow these through because really honestly, I only watched the first movie all the way through and parts of the second movie all the way, parts of the second movie all the way through, like bits and pieces. But this is the first time watching it all the way through. Um, I really didn't think that. I really didn't think How to Train Your Dragon needed a sequel, really. I didn't think How to Train Your Dragon needed really need a sequel or a third or a third movie either. It's hidden something, but like I didn't think it needed a third movie. I mean, also didn't need a subtitle for the third movie. You could have just said How to Train Your Dragon 3. But I thought How to Train Your Dragon 1 was perfect as just a solo animated movie. Like same thing with Shrek. I didn't think Shrek needed a Shrek 2 or 3 or anything like that. Not Kung Fu Panda. Kung Fu Panda, I was more interested in that being sequels, and they gave them 4 movies. So them doing a live action version of this movie and then probably doing those, they probably can give that one a fourth movie, but who knows? Um, that'd just be scary to see Shrek and all the stuff into a live action. But again, this is perfect by itself, just having just one movie. But again, here we are. So the second movie was great. I loved it. Not saying that I don't saying that the second movie shouldn't exist or anything like that, but the second movie was great. Moving on to the third one, but this is part of my How to Train Your Dragon um, video series on here. Also have one for Final Destination Bloodlines, and now that's on digital. I mean, me and my friends were going to see it in theaters, and then my other friends had shaking their head that we're going to see it, and now it's on digital, and I can probably buy it for 24 bucks or find a way to see it myself. So I want to find my way to see that because I did create a whole like list of it, and probably need to redo the con. I probably do we do need to do redo the Karate Kid video, but I'll do that when that comes on Blu-ray probably. Yeah, I'll probably redo that. I'll probably do a Blu-ray. I'll probably do a review and a Blu-ray review on that because sometimes my videos don't land on here perfectly fine. So I'll probably do it then when it comes on Blu-ray. So again, if you like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe. And part two was great. So like this video, put a like, comment, subscribe, the notification bell, and deuces.